Okay, everybody, welcome to the class. I hope you had a very nice weekend and a very nice Monday. So tonight is the night, very good. So I'm going to check your presentations and we're going to enjoy about what you want to say to the class. Before that one, of course, we're going to check about the platform. So tonight we're going to check about this one, that is the midterm test review and practice. And here is the question for tonight, so for you to participate. So that is also important. Also, I was checking that, well, let me refresh that one, but some of you still haven't done the midterm test. You remember that is very important to finish section 1 and section 2. Okay, tonight it should be done. So for example, let me see. Mr. Galdames is missing part of the week 2 and also the midterm test. Let's see. Francisco haven't done anything yet on the platform, so it's very important if Francisco is here to finish that one. Let me see. Let's see. Giselle, only one part of the section 2 is missing. Jose Wilfredo, half of the section 2 and also the midterm test. Juan Miguel Brown, everything is missing. Let's see. Luis Umaña is missing just some part of the second part. Ramon hasn't done anything. And let me see the other part. Roxana Yvette still haven't done anything. Let's see who else is. Jessica Yanari is missing the section 2 and also the midterm test. Suleima Yvonne is missing the section 2 and part of the midterm test. So it's very important. Remember that tomorrow at 7 o'clock, I will be sending the grades to INSAFORP. So it's very important to finish that one. Okay, and of course, we're going to check about the attempt. Ana Claudia González Velázquez.
Present, teacher.
Good. Andrés Giovanni Valdivieso Portillo.
Present.
Good. David Samuel Galdames Monterrosa.
Present, teacher.
Good. Dora Elizabeth Flores Méndez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Ernesto Cosme Morales.
Present.
Good. Fernando Marvin González Martínez. Francisco Eduardo Figueroa Mejía. Heidi Eugenia Salguero de Rivas. Ileana Giselle Cañas Escobar.
Present, teacher.
Good. Jarvin Isaac Guevara Miranda. José Marcos Rodríguez Ayala.
Present.
Good. José Osmin Rivas Navas. José Wilfredo Ayala Sorto.
Present, teacher.
Good. Juan Miguel Bran Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Good. Ramón Enrique Mata Escobar. Roberto Luis Umaña Orellana. Roxana Yvette Asensio de Mejía. William Alexander Ramírez Flores.
Present.
Good. Jessica Yanari Cortés Díaz. Zuleima Ivonne Moreno de Hernández.
Present.
Good. And Erwin Lagos Andrade.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Erwin, you're still missing also the platform, so please work on that one as soon as possible.
Yes, teacher. I will do it. I will do it.
But-
Sorry.
Don't worry, we have time. It's important just to be on time. That okay. So we're gonna check and since okay, Heidi, I got you here. Okay, so let me just check here. Okay, Very well, we're gonna start with a little video, of course, about a presentation because tonight we are going to do our presentation. Very good. So let's check into that one first. This is it. Just show the sound. Okay. So at the end, we're going to provide comments about this one, opinions. So let's see how it goes.
So when you were young, you always wanted to do the craziest things. You just wanted to have fun. But when you're young, there's a word that literally ruins your day. It's a word that you never wanted to hear, and it's a word that meant doom, destruction in the mind of a toddler, and it's only 2 letters. And it's only 2 letters, yet so powerful. And that word is the word no. Can I have some more candy? No. Can I go out and hang out with my friends on a school night? No. Can I go to school dressed as Batman? No. And you remember growing up and you associate the word no with rejection and denial, and you got so mad at your parents. You went right upstairs, got 2 toys, 2 bags, packed it up and said, you know what, I'm moving out. I know what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. You don't know what's fun. Here's the thing though. You're young and you're unaware. And while you're young and unaware, your parents actually act as your conscience. Why can't you have candy? Because it's going to make your stomach hurt. Why can't you go hang out with your friends on a school night? Because you have to study. And now why can't you wear your Batman costume to school? Because being a superhero is a full-time job. And the thing is though, as you grow up, you start to understand what the word no means. You learn that the word no means to reject. But my argument today isn't about rejection. It's about utilizing the power of the word no to grow. Because it's not only as important to know how to say no, but to understand when and why to say no, to pave the way for future opportunities in the long term, in terms of the short term. Now, when you're young, having fun is about 90% on your agenda. So it normally takes very specific and harsh instances where you learn that maybe no was the better choice. When I was 5 years old, my father used to tell me all the time, never go outside without your shoes. And it was such a weird thing because I see all my friends go running outside, playing, doing all their little things without their shoes on, and they're having so much fun. And I'm thinking to myself, why can't I go have fun like that? Why am I sitting in the house with sandals on? I want to go out and have fun. And so being the rebellious young person that I was, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go out without my shoes on. And so I waited for a Saturday morning. And my dad was sleeping, and I got out of bed, tiptoed straight out, looked around, just dashed without my shoes. And I ran for 10 minutes through mud, through everything you can imagine, like on the sidewalk, and I felt the air go between my toes. It was so liberating. And I was thinking to myself, wow, my dad does not want me to have fun. I'm totally fine. Like, I can't wait to go back and tell him, you know what, Dad, you are so wrong. I am having the time of my life. But as I was running back, I stepped on a rock, right into my foot. Blood's gushing out. I'm thinking to myself, oh crap. Not only am I in pain, I'm gonna be even in more pain when my dad finds out. So I'm probably gonna have to do something and hide this. And so getting back to the house, I tiptoed right back. But as my luck would have it, right when I opened the door, my dad is standing right there, looking right down at me. And I'm like, oh my God. And he looks very calm, looks straight down, doesn't look at my face, looks straight at my feet and said, and he knows the answer, son, did you go outside without your shoes on? And I looked at him and said, no. And he said to me, go in the other room and get all the pieces of paper you possibly can. I was like, why? He's like, go and get all the pieces you possibly can. And so I went in the other room, got all the pieces of paper I possibly could, and brought it in and said, now get a pen. I was like, oh God, I think I know what's about to happen. He said, get a pen. So I got the pen. He said, write down 200 times that I will not go outside without my shoes on. And keep in mind, I'm having a bloody foot right now. And he looked at me and actually said, how's your foot? I'm like, it hurts, but it's gonna be fine. He's like, good, now start writing. So that's how I spent my Saturday morning, in pain and realizing in retrospect, maybe no was the much better option. And I've had so many instances in my life now where whether in hindsight or in the beginning, no was meant to protect me. And I realized that later. And because the word no is essentially a way to combat the dangers of the word yes. And today, I want you to think of something very differently when it comes to the word no. I want you to think of the word no as a protective shield in compliments to the swords of yes. And here's the thing though, there are so many of those who wield the swords of yes, but so few wield the shield of no. Because no one wants to wield the shield of no if they have to think they have to reject someone, because the word literally means no, to reject. No one wants to reject a loved one, a friend, or even be rejected themselves. Yet for some reason, there are so many yes men out there, yet you think to yourself, are the world's most successful people yes men? Do you think public figures like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Steve Jobs said yes to every opportunity thrown their way? Steve Jobs actually said, I am just as proud of the things that I haven't done as the things I have done. And at Big Fish presentations, we faced a very similar situation where months ago, we got an amazing offer to be on a show called Shark Tank. And for those of y'all that don't know the show Shark Tank, it's a reality TV show where you go on the show and pitch to a panel of celebrity investors, and the marketing itself is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but in return for pitching to the investors, they potentially can give you X amount of dollars for X amount of your company. And it was literally one of the coolest things you can imagine being even asked on the show, considering we're a young startup. And I remember being so stoked, but something in my heart said, don't do it. But I'm like, whatever, I'm not gonna listen to it. And so we went through the first round of interviews. Second batch of interviews came around, and the noise started coming from my heart even louder and said, no, Kenny, don't do it. But once again, I was thinking about the money. And so I didn't listen to the voice. And altogether, the voice stopped. And so with the third and final round of revisions coming around, that's when the voice didn't appear, and I was so excited because I remember taking my team out that day to lunch, knowing that later that day we'll have a phone conversation with the executive producers on accepting our bid to go to Los Angeles to film the show. And we were having so much fun, and we're just chatting, saying what we're gonna do in LA, what are we gonna do with all the money we're gonna get, what are we gonna do with the publicity, how does it feel like to be a celebrity entrepreneur? It was literally so exhilarating. But then I got a call while at lunch that changed my life. I stepped outside, took the call, and it was one of my mentors. She said, Kenny, what does your heart tell you to do? Because she can tell in my voice I wasn't confident in my decision. Something started ringing in me. I didn't say anything back, and she asked again, Kenny, what does your heart tell you to do? And that's when I realized something. My heart was screaming out for me, and I didn't listen to it. I sacrificed my ethics as an entrepreneur of rather building the company rather than chasing the money, and that's not what I built our company on. And you can imagine how I felt to walk back in. I know several members of my team members are here today, and they remember how grim my face was as I walked in and said, guys, we're not gonna go on the show. But yet, while you might think that's a loss, there is a method to the madness. And there was a lesson taught to me that money can never buy. And that lesson was following your gut feeling. And here's the thing. So many times do we take the swords of yes, slashing right through the opportunities of life, crushing right through, that we sometimes realize some obstacles we just can't cut. When do you use your shield to protect you? And that's the trick. when to use your sword versus your shield. And you can learn and develop that by developing your gut feeling. And you learn to develop your gut feeling by turning down big opportunities in the short term for even bigger opportunities in the long term. Because for so long, it's the sword of yes being globalized. Everyone loves saying yes. But here's the thing, the shield of no, no one gives it due credit. Yet if you think about it, how many times have you said no to the right things where you evolved as a person, where you grew yourself as a person? Probably lots and lots of times. And so my challenge to you today is this. The next time you say no, think about, am I closing the door on something, or am I opening the door for some new opportunities? Thank you very much.
Okay, what do you get on this one?
Okay, it's
Go ahead, adelante.
Okay.
okay. Go ahead. I wait.
Well, in my case, I guess that saying no is really difficult. Maybe when you really know the result of your answer. And it's difficult because maybe sometimes you need to reject some things that maybe are dangerous for you. Could be a food, a drink, or even could be a toxic relationship. And also, I guess that before to say no, you have to think about the result. And you have to analyze the result, because that could be a good option for you, or that could be a bad situation. But I guess that we need to analyze before to give that answer.
Okay, very good. So yes, you are so right. We need to think and check about what might be happening if you say yes or no. The problem is that sometimes we don't do it, right? So very good. So David, you were going to say something.
Yes, it is important to be assertive. If we have clear goals, if we have a specific understanding of what we need, we are be able to say no to what we need to say no. We are able to say yes to the things that we need to say yes. It's something that wastes my time. Obviously, I need to say no. It's something that can give me something for understanding, or teaching me something, or even though give me a time of rest. It is important. Everything is important. We need to have priorities. We need to have the time for family, the time for education, the time for rest. And if we have a clear understanding of that, we have more clear understanding of what to need says, or when to need says, and when to need say no. But it is important, always it is important to think about. It is important. Somebody says that you don't say everything what you think, but definitively you need to think everything you say. It is important.
Very good. That is true. So yeah, you need to think about a balance in your life, right? And many things that will be involved, and of course the consequences of your acts. So that is very important. Good. Any other comments or opinion on the video?
In my case, before I say Yes, yes, yes. But I learned say no. And when I say no in different moments, or I what happened? Nothing. Yes, nothing. Before I afraid get mad at me. The other person, I think, oh, if if me says no, this person angry with me. But I learned not, no happens. Nothing happened. I feel
Okay,
so good.
nice. That is thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes you need to learn, right? So and sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to say no or to avoid doing something. So, but yeah, that's why we're here, right? In this life, we can learn many things, and that is one of the things that we need to learn. Very good. Any other comments or opinion? No more comments. Yeah, you know, it's difficult, as that I was saying. Sometimes we want to help a lot of people. We want to everybody to be happy, and sometimes we don't think about ourselves, right? So sometimes we say yes to things that maybe we don't want to do. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes we know that the answer is no, don't do this, but you really want to do it. So that is a problem. And that the most of the time when you go and ask for an advice to another person is because you know the answer, but you want other people to tell you the reasons why, so you understand and you listen from another person what you don't have to do that one. So I believe that at the end, yes, we know that the answer is no, but we we really want to do some things that are not going to be good, but that's the way. Sometimes there are temptations and things that are not correct, or things that are not going to be good for you. And as the person on the video says, sometimes no is a shield, right? It protects you and your family. And yeah, I mean, it's good to say no sometimes, you know. Good. So this was a little presentation for the day of the presentation. So we're going to start now with the presentation, yeah, from your presentation. So what is going to happen is this. I'm going to tell you, you're going to present your PowerPoint if you want, and you are going to start explaining. And at the end, of course, if we have questions, we are going to ask you questions, okay? So the microphone is yours. Question is, who wants to be the first one?
Me, teacher.
Good, David. Let's listen to David then. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I want to talk about paradigms. There is a thinking models. What do you think about eating a dog? Obviously, is disgusting for the mouth of salad, eating a dog, but if we were Chinese, it will be something common because that is the paradigm. The food paradigm for that part of the country, of the world. If you were from Peru, you would like to eat cuyos. That is the paradigm. And some people don't ask the things we eat. They don't eat the things we eat. And for that reason, it is important paradigms. Paradigms is the way that we see the world. And I have this phrase, for as he sins within himself, so he is, that is from the Bible, Proverbs 23:6. And as you know, my name is David. And what is a paradigm? Paradigms are powerful because they are the lens, the glaze through which we see the world. Obviously, always we think we are right, but it is important understand what is the point of view. Do you see a 6 or do you see a 9? It's depending of what are the point of view that you are seeing the situation. We filter the reality through paradigms, and we act according to. We learn how to our behavior in specific situations. We understand to act in specific ways. That is our paradigms. But we see what we like, what we say in specific occasions is because our paradigms. How was born? When a specific time of behavior, mostly in the childhood or a pattern of thinking, becomes general, and an individual adopted, it becomes a paradigm. We learn how the things that we like, maybe sports, we like sport that other people teach us that we like. If we have a father that likes football and we go with them to the football games, maybe we like football, maybe. And some of the kinds like that. Are they good or are they bad? It all depends, because a paradigm can give an automated responses, and we need to think. In many situations, we don't need to think because we have an answer, an automatic answer to specific situations. But if the situation change and the individual doesn't realize, he will be in trouble to reach his goal. If the situation is different, there are a story of hotel in USA many years ago, about 30 or 40 years ago. They built a hotel about 5 floors, and then they don't put an elevator because they think that the people need to do exercise. They don't put an elevator in the hotel, but when they finish the hotel, the regulation of the state establishes that they need to give access to disabled people. And they need to room to make an elevator before opening the hotel. And all of the constructors, all of the engineers and architects are meeting in a room thinking what is the best way to make an elevator, to build an elevator inside the hotel. And there was a guy that cleaning the room, and they listened the situation, and this guy says to them, why you don't build the elevator outside of the hotel? And this was the panoramic elevator was born, because this guy doesn't have the paradigm of the construction. They don't have the problems that all of the architects have. And he can see the situation in a different way. That is the reason. We need to have the ability to see the situations in a different ways. And the pandemic time has taught us many ways of doing something like that. This game, many of you maybe know it, how to join this 9 points with 4 straight lines and without separating the pen from the paper. It's a define, it's a challenge, because many of us we know, maybe know, but many of us maybe don't know. how to do it. And there are two conditioning, like in the life. The word try tell us that it's not easy. When they say try, it's telling us it's not easy or it's difficult for you. This word condition us. And then the square tell us we need to follow the square pattern. But if we go out of the square pattern, we can do it. And these are 4 straight lines, but not following the pattern, the normal pattern. And that is the slogan from Steve Jobs, think different. Albert Einstein says that it's easier to break an atom than a produce. If you need different results, you need to define and obviously to change your pattern. The ways you see the world, the ways you see yourself, you need to change to do something different. The Switzerland or Swiss people, they are the leaders in clocks. They discovered the electronic clock, but they don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like it. They like the normal clock. And the electronic clock, they invented, the Swiss invented the electronic clock, but don't like them. The Japanese took the invention and they get a spectacular successful with this. The rules of the new paradigm are invisible to who's in the older one. The old rules hinder the new thinking. If we are in the old pattern of thinking, we have problems to see the new situation. This is what the experts call the blindness and paralysis paradigmatic. We always listen or say it. That's not the way that we do the things. That's not the way. We are wrong. This is not going to work. That is impossible. If you could have my experience, you might know where are you wrong? Why are you wrong? What are you doing wrong? And those things are because we can change our paradigm. Stephen Covey tells a story in a public transportation, a guy with 3 kids going to the transportation, and the kids was disturbing all, making a mess, running, and the father only put in his seat and thinking. Steve Covey was in the transportation and asked the man, "Why do you do nothing? Why you don't do nothing about your kids? They are disturbing all." And the guy says, "Yes, we came from the funeral of his mother or of their mother." And that situation changed the thinking of Stephen Covey, and they offer help to that man. It is important. Okay, there was a story of wise men that have answered for all the questions that the people asked to him. He lived in the top of the mountain. All of the wise men live in the top of the mountain. I don't know why. And two boys, maybe Salvadorian guys, they have a question. They can put the old wise man in trouble. And they take a little bird in her hands and ask, they want to ask the old man, the wise man, if the bird is alive. If the wise man says that it's alive, they kill it with her hands and give the dead bird. But if the wise man said that this was dead, they give the bird alive. There was a perfect trap, a perfect difficult situation for the wise man. And when they ask the questions to the wise man, is the bird alive? The wise man said to the kids, boys, the answer is in your hand. And that is my lesson for tonight. But when we think about our future, about our decisions, about saying no or yes, like in the previous video, the answer is in your hands. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, teacher. That's all.
Very good, perfect, very nice, and nice stories as well. Very good. So my friends, do you have any questions regarding the presentation of David? Any questions, any comments?
No questions, but yes, a comment.
Okay.
Really like the topic, David. Thank you. Very interested.
Okay, welcome. Thank you.
Good, good, perfect, nice. Any other comment or opinion or question? Nothing else. Okay. David was very good. The topic, I really enjoyed it, and the presentation was also very, very good. And you are so right. I mean, human mind, the brain is amazing, right? And sometimes, I mean, not sometimes, always we live under certain rules, and sometimes we need to think out of the box, right? We need to change things
Yes.
so we can move on. Good, perfect. Thank you, David. Okay, so who wants to be the next one?
Me, teacher.
Very good. Let's listen to Ana Claudia.
Let me try to share, right?
Of course, yeah.
Let me see. I'm not so. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. It's not going to be so extensive. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Ana Claudia Gonzalez, and what I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight is about the service or what I do on a daily basis in order for you to understand what type of products are in the market, in order for looking for security for all the ones driving on a daily basis. I work for a company that its name is Motive, Keep Tracking. Commonly was known as Keep Tracking. And what we sell are those two little boxes, well, 3 little boxes, but the most we sell are these 2 ones. That one is an electronic logbook and the other one is a dash cam. And let me just tell you a little about what these 2 products do in order to understand what in the markets are available. My purpose today is to present you a view of what the market can find in order to decrease accidents on the road. Maybe here in El Salvador is not common, and this type of equipment is not required, is not used, because there must be like a big it's a complex system that there will be laws working around this and stuff like that. This type of system works mostly in US and Canada, and laws required for all drivers going on the road and driving big trucks like trailers or reefer trailers, all the ones that we see on the highway, for example, in Los Chorros, on Sonate, they must use, in the US and Canada, they must use this type of equipment. And the name of this one is electronic logbook, and the name is because instead of people writing what they do every hour during a journey where they are in the highway, this equipment goes hookup is connected in one port of the vehicle or the truck, in the truck, it goes inside. Oh my God, what I'm doing. Let me go. Okay. And in that way, in the diagnostic port, so in that way, this equipment can get all the information about the fuel that is burning, and the place where the car is, most of the thing. I'm going to show you quickly, briefly, how this system works. In the next slide, I want you to mention that these three gentlemen are the executive team. The company that I work for is mostly located in Pakistan. Is because Shoaib Makani and Vaidai Khan, they are the founders, and just this gentleman is the American one. So it's like a retribution. It's like something going back, that they have the headquarters mostly in Pakistan, and also the office in the US. Now, let me just, this equipment, they seems like a sandwich, like a plastic box or something like that, but they brings important information. I'm just going to give you a brief journey and show you what people can find and the importance of these two things, because mostly Latin American people, when they go to US, they work hard and they save money, most of them. And for example, one of the jobs they do the most is to drive in the highway. You just don't imagine how many women and men are driving all these big trucks. It's incredible. But what happened when they have money, they want to create and they build their own business. But the issue comes up that sometimes they don't know how to handle the business. They know how to drive, they know about the laws and the road, but they don't know how to drive. And then is where all these equipments come up in the market in order to help them. And for example, the one that drives a truck, we know him as a driver, and the one that managed the company is the administrator. So this equipment just recognized two inputs, two profiles. One is for the driver and the other is for the admin. The driver just needs to download an application on his or her mobile device. Just need to log in with a username or an email. And all the companies in the US, they have a number. The companies for deliveries or the trucking companies, they have a number. It's like a license number, but the name is DOT. Like you hear the letters D as in David, O as in Oscar, and T as in Thomas. Now, as a driver, they are used to have or handle an application. But what the issue comes from is when they need to present reports every 3 months about the fuel utilization, about the logs they do, and they need to do taxes all the time. So let me show you what they will find. This just will take 1 or 2 minutes. One profile is for driver. They just download an application on their mobile device. But this one that I'm going to open right now is the application, or is the access for an administrator. So in this case, what they need to do, this is our website, and they just need to go to login, and they will use an email address. I'm just going to use a demo account, and because I just want to show you what they can find and how useful it is to have all this information. Oh my goodness, let's see if this works. And what they can find on a daily basis. Let's see. It seems like if not, I'm going to show you the other slide. But what happened is that they will find information about what the fuel utilization is on a daily basis. If you see, in order to avoid distractions, the platform use like flat colors, black, white, and here in the right side, they will find the information. For example, as we know, in the US, there are Hispanic people, not only English people, and also as we work with Canada, so this information can be shown in the three languages. And I just wanted to show you what this equipment, when it's connected in a vehicle, can show multiple information. For example, I'm just going to click in one vehicle or truck, and depending on what they want to see, they can find information, for example, where the vehicle is at that moment, the speed, the engine, or multiple things. For example, if they use a dash cam, they can have the location. These tools help them to be on top of what's going on, right? So it's important because they can find helpful information, and this platform will provide on a daily basis what they need to know. And if they want to know how long it will be to arrive to the place they need to be, this section here will tell them how long is missing, depending on the traffic, depending on the distance, depending on how the weather is. And they can also share their location with who is waiting for the load or what they are carrying on. Another important information is that they can find reports on how the fuel is used. And it's a basic information, but believe it or not, most of the people is not prepared to do reports or stuff like that. So this tool helps them a lot and show them, for example, if they are going too fast, how they are driving, if they have different vehicles, who is driving the best with which vehicle, who is having faults like speeding. And when they have a dash cam, they can also see and find if they are too much time talking over the phone or stuff like that. And the other thing that I want to show you is the dash cam and how this works, and what they can find is information. Whenever an incident happens, they will receive a link like this one, and they will be able to check what was happening in the 20 seconds event. For example, they will see if somebody was trying to pass with different distance, if they brake or the speed is not the appropriate. They can dismiss either these type of videos. And if, for example, there is an accident or something, I don't know, like something happened. Sometimes you may know that in US there are people that they are like, they have the purpose to create accidents in order to get money. There are also lawyers, there are offices that they are dedicated to all of those bad things. And that is why people take care and they back their journey using footage or dash cams, so they have like legal proof of what they do. So what I wanted to show you is all the products they can find in the market. This is one of those. This is one that I sell, and it's very important to that all these systems were created because there is the Department of Transportation, the DOT, is like Policía de Tránsito here, but they have laws, severity laws. And if a driver is not using equipment to measure or demonstrate how they are driving, they can have penalties, and also they can go to the court. But also what they are looking for, I guess the government, what is looking for is that the people rest the time that they must rest, but also that they drive just the time permitted, like 8 or 10 hours per day, as much as it is. So believe it or not, this using these equipments may decrease the multiple accidents, but even though they are still subject to have accidents during the year, the losses for insurance, health is a big amount nowadays. So maybe one day here in El Salvador we can get a service like this, so that will avoid any kind of accident, or the amount of accidents will decrease. That is what is using all of this. So that is my purpose today, was to show you how these things work. So I don't know if someone have a question. Well, I will be more than glad to answer.
Okay, questions, my friends, about the device and the little camera. Nobody?
Sometimes
See?
it's difficult to understand what the drivers for a truck sees on the road, and they see it's tiny.
Yeah, that is true.
Ana Claudia, and that kind of devices are only for trucks, or you can use them on any other kind of car?
They can use, no, they can be used in pickups, ambulance, buses. Also, I saw cameras for boats. They use it. Once a vehicle has a diagnostic port, can use them. Unfortunately, even though the internet works here for our country, because it works, but the laws, so laws, they don't take this as information. So
No, yeah, that's true. Good, perfect. Thank you. Any other question, comment?
Where do I have to call to hire it?
EXO, you can call me. Yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah. Yes, it's a good equipment, and because it's sure, I always have problem with it. Back, is that the right? Back your back?
Backup.
Yeah, but there is a
Like a backup.
saying.
Uh-huh.
There is a saying. Te guardo las
Cover your
espaldas.
back. Uh-huh.
Ay, I always have trouble with that.
Very good. And this one, I mean, do you pay for the equipment only, or do you have to pay every month for the service?
Yes, it's similar like a cellular or mobile device that you pay for the equipment, but also you pay for the service. That's right.
Ah, okay. Very good.
But you have the option to buy the equipment.
Yes, and most of the
Pay the
time I
full
can
amount.
give it to you. I can give it to you, but if you pay annually or semi-annual or quarterly, and once the customer makes like a contract for 2 years, I have the ability to give them. But the issue is that people, they don't want to compromise with a long-term contract. What is the most we are facing right now because of the war with Ukraine, and the fuel is too high. They don't want to compromise with that, but we are still dealing with that. But yes, I can also gift it to you if you want it.
Okay, interesting. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the service and everything that you can do. And you are right, for companies, mostly in the US or in countries like the European, it's very important for them to check how productive are people, and the trucks and the fuel, and everything is important because everything is money, right? So
Everything is money, that's right. And sometimes the issue is that if the drivers, they save money, they have the money to create a company, and they pay for insurance. They are so high depending on the truck you have, but they don't know how to handle the company. So this equipment help them to identify how the fuel utilization is, because this also count the idle events. So if the vehicle is on, but you are not running, is just stop, is burning the fuel. So the system count the minutes, the seconds, and also convert them in gas. So then you can make the math and to know in a month how much you lost in idle event.
That's
What
good.
is the
Very
complaint that you hear most often?
Hmm?
What is the complaint that you hear most often?
Money that is too expensive, but when you that is the reason why with Hispanic customers, with Latin customers, I always try to do a demonstration. What I did to you is a demonstration, a demo, and I also sent to the customers a link, and I connect my computer, even though if they are over the phone, because my purpose is that they understand what they are getting for all these little boxes. They are not just paying for just to have a service like a telephone line. It's so difficult to explain just with words, even though you demonstrate or picture whatever you want, but it's different. I always have a different answer when they see this demo, and with them, of course, I explain them a little bit more, where the fuel is, a lot of things. And at the end, most of them, they decide to purchase both the electronic logbook and also the dash cam, because people, my purpose is to switch their mind and to make them an intelligent decision, because at the end is on their, it will be on their side, a good thing, because having a violation, for example, having a violation, US, you name it, they are from $10,000 and above. You can find one more than, let me see, yeah, more than $10,000 or 100, yes, $50,000. There are penalties like that.
What is the monthly price?
The monthly price for the equipment with the dash cam, the customers are paying $85 per month, but my goal is, if you want it for free, pay quarterly. $255 every 3 months is nothing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
nothing.
it's not that high. Yeah, you're right. It's not
No,
that.
it's not so high. So when you see the benefits or the advantage, what you are backing up your information, or you as a person, because you avoid suits and tickets, violation.
Okay, very good. Very interesting. And it's very interesting what you do on a daily basis. That is very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other comments or question before we move on? Good. So let's check the attendance so we can check the other presentations. Ana Claudia González Velázquez.
Present, teacher.
Good. Andrés Giovanni Valdivieso Portillo. David Samuel Galdames Monterrosa.
Present, teacher.
Good. Dora Elizabeth Flores Méndez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Ernesto Cosme Morales.
Present.
Good. Fernando Marvin González Martínez. Francisco Eduardo Figueroa Mejía. Heidi Eugenia Salguero de Rivas.
Present, teacher.
Good. Iriana Giselle Cañas Escobar.
Present, teacher.
Good. Jarvin Isaac Guevara Miranda. José Marcos Rodríguez. Okay. José Marcos Rodríguez Ayala.
Present.
Good. José Osmin Rivas Navas.
Present.
Good. José Wilfredo Ayala Sorto.
Present.
Good. Juan Miguel Bran Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Good. Ramón Enrique Mata Escobar. Roberto Luis Umaña Orellana. Roxana Ivette Asensio de Mejía.
Present.
Good. William Alexander Ramírez Flores.
Present.
Good. Jessica Yanari Cortez Diaz.
I'm here.
Good. Zuleima Ivonne Moreno de Hernández.
Present.
Good. And Erwin Lagos Andrade.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Perfect. So let's continue with the presentations. Before that one, just remember to finish the platform. I mean, finish section 1, section 2, and also the midterm tests. Who wants to be the next one?
Can I do it, teacher?
Okay, Erwin, let's do it.
Okay. Give me a moment, please. Can you give me a moment?
Of course, of course.
Okay, can you see, teacher?
We can see your computer. Yeah. Oh, there is it.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, everybody. My name is Erwin Lagos. I have searched for that topic may interest you. Yeah, it's so difficult to try to find one topic that possible that you can like to see. Okay, I will begin. 8 tips for the health eating. I think that we have a good life and we have to be a good life. Yes, but to have a good life, you have to know what to eat, to know what to do, and now how to live. Yeah. And the 8 for the health eating is the most important for the doctor, for example. The base of the meals on the 3 carbohydrates. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Eat more fish, include a portion of all fish. Cut down the saturated fat and sugar. Eat less salt. Get activity and be a health weight. Don't get stressed. Yes, let me a moment. I can show the number 8. Let me. Okay, I will continue because I can show the number 8.
Okay.
Okay. Based on the mix of the search carbohydrate, but all the time think that I will eat pupusa, for example. This is not carbohydrate. More or less the corn is a few times the carbohydrate, but you know how many you need to eat, for example. But if you eat the breakfast powders or water cereals, is so important. And the most important in the eat is the breakfast, lunch sandwich, and whole bread, jacket potato, or whole rice salad. Dinner, pasta, potatoes, or rice with the evening meal. But we had a problem because if you don't have a meat and only the carbohydrate, if you have the office only the seed, the carbohydrate will be sugar in your body. Yes, but you have to be established that you need to eat. But the most important, you have to eat fruit and vegetable. If you remember, when do you eat vegetable? Oops. Or when do you eat fruit? Oops, do you remember? Yes. For the doctor, you have to eat fruit and vegetable 5 times in the week. And do you know, for example, if you drink, we have a problem in El Salvador. When you have a juice, you think that the juice is so important, but in El Salvador, you will find many juice with so many sugar, so much sugar. Yeah, it's a good problem. But if you maybe you have a juice of the real natural fruit, will be good for your life. Eat more fish. For example, many people don't know that the weight is important. Eat fish because the fish can give you your heart will be good. Sorry, and long chain omega-3 which are important for you have heard. For example, in the week, you have to eat 2 or 3 times with the fish. But if you remember, in the last week, how many fish did you eat? Oops, oh, only 1 or nothing, okay? This is a good problem in El Salvador, yeah, United States too, because the sugar, the fast food, in that moment, maybe you have a 20 years old, 8 or 30 years old, you don't feel any different in your body. But after that, when you have 40 years old or 50 years old, if you only ate fast food, you will be sick. This is a good problem. Why? Because the oil is not natural. It's like the, how to say, it's not natural and will change your type of the life. Maybe you will have the blood cholesterol level, which increases the change of development, heart disease. If you ask at the ISSS, Instituto Seguro Social, many people are sick because I ate bad when was younger. Yes? And we had a good problem with sugar. The sugar is so bad because only give you the energy 5 or 10 minutes, only that. And the other problem with your heart is the salt. If you eat so much salt, it's a good problem. And many people say, oops, exercise is so difficult. Oops, it's a problem, yes. But you can walk in the morning if you want to walk. But in that moment, if you have your wife or your husband or your son or your daughter, you can practice exercise in your home. It's a good idea because you can speak with your family, you can work with your family, or if you want to practice at the gym, it's the best. Okay, it's the best. This is for me the 3 I suggest that you can do it. And the other problem in El Salvador, but you have do you know common things that are treats that urine like energy. But when you are treats, you have a problem because all the people take soda at the retail, take soda. But the soda is a good problem because have sugar, yes, your body will feel the similar, the flavor, yes. And if you all the time you will drink, for example, Coca-Cola, all the time you want to drink Coca-Cola. If you want to drink all the time water, you want to drink water all the time. This is a good problem. Yes? This is the normal in El Salvador. And after that, the breakfast. We had a good problem too, because in the morning, the time in El Salvador is so difficult because we are so far, the worker, we had to drive so much or take the bus so much time. We forgot, oops, I need to eat breakfast. I forgot. In the road, the people talk the pupusa, for example, and this is a good bad. It's a bad because when you first food in the morning with the breakfast, it will be so good for your life in the day. And I suggest you can do it. I suggest you can do it because good health for good life is so bad when you have a 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, have a sick, yeah, have sick. And after that, you can think, how is my mind? What I think, what I want. Not the money, not the knowledge, only thing you can to be happy. But for to be happy, you have to have a good health and good life. That's it, teacher.
Very good, perfect. Thank you for the tips. It was so interesting. So, anybody has questions or comments?
Erwin mentioned too much pupusas that I want to eat pupusas.
I
No.
try to make a topic with relationship with the students. It's so
Yeah.
Very
difficult
good.
because the teacher only say, "Oop, one topic, oop, which one? Which one? Which one?"
And I
Because-
want to, and I share with you the importance of not eat. You can reduce sugar. I took the decision last year, but I took it at all. There were 2 weeks that my head was and my brain was asking for sugar. You just don't imagine. It was so difficult. But after those 2 weeks, I can say now that is now I don't need it. And it helped me a lot to reduce sugar.
it's a good problem in El Salvador. Not only the sugar, with the brand. Yeah. For example, in El Salvador at 3 o'clock, you say, how say,
Coffee and bread.
coffee and bread.
Coffee and-
But in El Salvador,
Yeah,
say
fast.
other name. For example, how say the, I know, but how say, I don't remember, quesadilla con café. It's so difficult because when the culture is, when you have a child, you will eat coffee with the bread, okay, the sugar bread. When you have a children, after that, when you have a job, eat the similar, and now we eat the similar too, okay, because a culture.
It's a
It's
problem.
so difficult.
Yeah.
But when you ask at the East with the doctor, many people are sick because they don't eat health.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is true. We have a lot of habits and some of those are not good ones. So,
Mhm.
okay, very good. Thank you, Erwin. Any other comments or questions? Okay.
Semita. Semita. How say semita?
Oh, that is the word. I mean, that's the name.
Yeah,
We don't have.
I never find it in English semita.
No, that it
Semita
doesn't.
with coffee. Yeah, it's so different. In El Salvador, it's similar. Semita with the coffee at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my office, all the time at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, many women with the motorcycle have a semita with the coffee.
Yeah.
And I asked, hey, how is you today? Oops, I so old. Yeah. It's so difficult. But it's a culture. We can do so difficult to change.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult. You need to make your mind and it's difficult to move on. But anyways, thank you very much for the topic, Erwin. Okay, who wants to be the next one then?
Me, teacher.
Very good. Let's listen to Dora.
Okay. Good night, everybody. My name is Doris Flores, and today I'm going to be talking about Carlos Ghosn. Carlos Ghosn is from Chairman Nissan Renault to Runaway Men. But who is Carlos Ghosn? He was in 9th March 1954. He has citizenship, France, Lebanon, and Brazil. He is a businessman, was CEO of Michelin North America, chairman and CEO of Nissan and Renault chairman at Avoid and Mitsubishi. He has published books, made several interviews and documentaries. Do you see my computer, my screen?
No, we are
No.
not able.
Excuse me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I tried.
Of course, take your time. There is an option that says share screen. Ah, there it comes.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, here's it. Good, nice.
Okay. This is Carlos Gons. Carlos Gons catch my attention because he escaped from Japan, hiding in instrumental music case. He fled from Japan to Turkey on 30 December 2019 by private jet because of he was accused for unlawful action in Japan for Nissan company. Now he's living in Lebanon and he said he's innocent. But what did the story call my attention? When this is a documentary in Netflix. When I saw the documentary in Netflix, The Curious Case of Carlos Ghosn, I think if this had happened in El Salvador, because he made he made many cases about the corruption, but in Japan, but in El Salvador, this is normally in majority the companies. For example, in El Salvador, there are companies pays CEOs more $100,000 a year. In Japan, the pay for a CEO or chairman, it should not be more than 60 times what a worker. Even some companies gives a car, gas, ticket for travel, pays hotels, and another employees benefits. In El Salvador, made new companies like a holding. And sometimes this is to allow avoid taxes, avoid taxes. The one company sister buy products, other buy company sister. In this transaction, allow avoid pay the taxes in sometimes, but in Japan is so bad. It's so bad in Japan. What documentary Netflix about? In summary, the story started in 1960 in Paris, when Louis Scherter, CEO of Renault, hired a Carlos Ghosn when the company is near bankruptcy. Ghosn is known for reduced costs and lying of employees. Then Renault Nissan made alliances, and Ghosn becomes in CEO of Nissan in 1st April 1960. Carlos Ghosn started work in Renault. He closed companies in Belgium. He quite in Belgium. He quite 3,000 employees. And when he employees, but in this case, he he become a renewal a good company. It's the renewal pass to bankruptcy to earn money, millions monies. Nissan and Renault made alliance and he became Nissan from company bankrupt at $1 million too. In Renault and Nissan. After returns Renault, after 70 years, he was in Japan. He returns Renault like a chairman, but he don't quite a Nissan. He said in Renault, I keep the two employees in Nissan and Renault. Y so fue difficult is to management two big companies. This case allowed the loss of the reality. He started to spend money in parties, private jets. He was criticized when he organized a parties in Paris, in Versailles. She spent 50,000 dollars in this party. And she criticized because he in the companies he tries always to reduce the cost. The workers work hard. In Ronald, when he returned Ronald, there are suicides due to employees overwork. The people work 12 hours a day, even in weekends. The documentary shows interviews of persons who course close to him until he's made and reason that caused his fall. The documentary described to how was arrested in Japan, his time he spent in jail, and finally how escaped helping for Michael Taylor and his son Peter and George Sykes. His sister hired the bike, but the Michael and his son and George Sykes spent some time in jail in Japan. That's it.
Very good, very interesting, nice. Anybody has any question or comments about the presentation of Dora?
I just can imagine to work 12 hours a day, even weekends. And this man, so he didn't quit from one company when he was in the other.
Yes. Yes.
So bad.
Yes. In the documentary interviews a wife suicided, and she look angry. She said, "I still angry with him."
Yeah.
When I received the call, I think my husband had a accident, a traffic accident, but no. The police said me, my husband suicide in company, inside company. The remote.
I remember there were news around that the way how people desperately suicide is they jump from the same office, right? From the same
Yeah.
company. Wow.
Yes. But it's very
Yeah,
Wow.
not good at all.
yes.
Yeah. So that happens, you know, money, and some people they lost their mind because of money. So
Ambition.
yeah, no, not good at all. Any other comments or questions for Dora? Okay, very good, Dora. Very interesting. Definitely, I'm gonna check the documentary. I love documentaries, you know, and this
Yes.
seemed to be a very good one. I'm gonna look for that one. Thank you very much.
Bueno, thank you.
Okay, who wants to be the next one?
I will, teacher, but I'm unable to share my screen because I'm using the computer's company.
Ah, okay,
So
not a
that's
problem.
why I turn on my camera.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. My name is Jose Wilfredo, and I make a little research about one particular topic that maybe one day you said that phrase. And the topic is time is money. So this is really important phrase that maybe you know, because you know when you invest your time doing a job or a report, a speech, or whatever task that you invest your time, you really know that never that time will back. So you will get experience. That's really important. When you get experience, you are taking advantage about whatever well other you're taking advantage whatever other person or whatever other people maybe. One important option to invest your time is to study a bachelor degree or a high scholarship, but maybe you're not interested in that kind of study. So you invest your time in a family job or family business, and understand how to manage, but you invest your time. And you can invest your time in different ways to uh, earn money. So even the minutes that you are hearing me, you are learning other kind of classes, and maybe you don't pay attention that you're investing your time, but you're doing. And your regard is that you learn something new during each class that you join. And well, I will finish with one phrase that is really important. And I also, every day I said that the time is money, but the money can return your time. So now you can think about that, and you maybe invest better your time. That's a little research.
Good, perfect. Thank you. Any questions or comments on the Jose Wilfredo's presentation?
How much you owe me for my minute? No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you are very right. So the most common regret that people have at the end of their life is that one, right? The way that you spend your time,
Yep.
because there are things that are important, right? So yes, you need to work, you need to make money, but there are other things that are also important. And sometimes we take bad decisions, right? So very good, perfect. Thank you. Any comments, any questions? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jose Wilfredo. Who wants to be the next one?
Me, teacher.
Good. Let's
Yes.
listen to Marcus.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, And do you see my screen?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, almost clicking here. Hello.
Yeah, we can see your screen, yeah.
Okay, okay, perfect. And okay. Good night, everyone. My name is Marcos Ayala. Tonight I'm gonna talk about a country who is located in the Pacific Ocean. Between Japan and Chile, or Australia and United States, we find the largest ocean, the Pacific Ocean, which is only interrupted by small islands, separated by between themselves by thousands of kilometers of distance. Kiribati is a country which has 33 islands, and just only one of them has a considerable height over the sea level, with 81 meters, and the rest of the island that country contains are atolls, and an atoll is something like this. It's like an island into the sea with no so much elevation. So all these oil islands can be grouped in 3 regions. The Gilbert Island, where the capital of the country is located. Then we have the Phoenix Island. And finally, in the east, we find the Line Islands here. All these islands are very small, totaling 800 per kilometer. So it can be placed around 26 times in El Salvador, for example. But his limited land contrasts with his infinity sphere. Kiribati has an exclusive economic zone, is 3.5 million of kilometers, an area larger than India, for example. As we see in the map, some islands are above the equator line. This line divides the world into North Hemisphere and South Hemisphere. But Kiribati is also divided by another important imaginary line, the anti-meridian, that is the opposite of the Greenwich meridian, which divides the Earth into west and east. If we draw a line with the equator line and the anti-meridian line, we can say that the Earth is divided into 4 quadrants. So in each of these quadrants, there are Kiribati islands. For example, here, 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 here. Some information on internet says this country is the only one placed in 4 quadrants, but there is another one. Do you know which one is? At the end of the presentation, we will be answering that question.
Good.
As we see, Kiribati is in the middle of the international day chain, which is the anti-meridian. That line means that crossing this line, we also change the day of the week. Nowadays, this international line is not straight, as we see here. As it's getting closer to Kiribati, it's not straight. To a good extent, by decision taken by the Kiribati people. As any country is free to choose the time zone, they wanted also applies with the day. Until 1990, Kiribati was divided into different days. The East Island were delayed 1 day with the West Island. So there was affect some governmental, administrative, and economic process. So by the election of 1994, one of the candidates promised change of the day. So all the nation could be united in the calendar. So when he won, he implemented that change at the end of the year. So in the Line Island, 1 day was skipped. They passed from December 31 from January 1st. Do they skip 1 day, the island are in time zone plus 14. So this way, the clock 6 the same time as Hawaii, a little bit more in the east, but with 1 day delay regard with Kiribati. Something similar happens with American Samoa, where the time zone difference is 25 hours. So this way, at some point, there are 3 different days at the same time on the Earth. For example, when in the east of Kiribati is 12:30 a.m. of Thursday, in almost all the planet is Wednesday, and in American Samoa is 11:30 p.m. of Tuesday. But the real problem with Kiribati is not the time zone. It's the rising of the sea level due to the climate change. This country is sinking to the sea. So we hope one day with the international policy and pollution about pollution and very conscious about the environment, we also help this country to not disappear. And so that's all.
Okay, very good, very interesting. I never knew about this country, everything that is related with that one. So anybody has a question or a comment? Okay, how many people are there in these islands living? Do you know, in the country?
Sorry, teacher. Do we have the question to answer?
Yeah.
Do you remember the question? Do you know what another country is placing in 3 different quadrants at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know the answer for the question, to be honest.
Okay. And the answer of the question is France. Do you know why?
No.
It is because the oversea land that France has, because has some islands in the for example in Pacific Ocean, in the Europe is France, and also by Chile. I don't know if there are some islands. So this way France have lands in all the quadrants by the oversea lands that remaining from the colonial period. I don't know, teacher, but let me see. Is 121,000 people.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
that
not
much.
that many. Yeah.
I saw a video where that said that due to this rising of sea level, there is a plan to move the population of Kiribati from another island because the sea level is risking the life of the people.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that is happening. The climate is changing, and of course, it's affecting a lot of people. Very good, perfect. Thank you for your presentation, Marcus. Was interesting. And who wants to be the next one?
Can I?
Me.
Of course. Okay, so Roxanne and then Fernando.
Okay, let me see. Because I am in the cell phone. Give me.
Fernando then.
No.
It's Fernando.
Este Fernando. Could you see my screen?
We are able to see something blank.
Now?
Just something blank, totally blank.
Okay, I have technical problems.
But is this a presentation, an actual presentation, a power presentation or something like that?
Yes, I have a PowerPoint presentation. Let me see. Now?
Yeah, now we can see yours. Yeah, very good. That is it.
I.
Are you okay?
No, it's weird. My, gosh. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry for my technical problems.
Oh, not a problem.
Well,
Wow.
good night, everybody. This day are going to have a little conversation about I think that this is a very important topic for us. You know, the importance of speaking a second language. Did you know that Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world by number of native speakers? Maybe that sentence create a weird imagine about language, but sometimes or always we are thinking about why it's important to study English if I know Spanish. And in El Salvador, it's more common for our companies or I don't know, to spend time in general. You always are using Spanish, not English, but it's important because English is the most important, is the second language most used. So we are talking about some key points and reason that's why it's important. The first one is communicate. Why it is important? Because it's commonly used. Knowing English means expressing oneself fluency, presenting our ideas in order, or try to transmit a clarity message to the rest of the people, audience, and everybody. It also means understanding and assimilating the ideas and responses and try to provide important or specific information to others. Or maybe when we are spending time with watching TV or listen to radio and some stuff like that. So second, we have job opportunities. Why job opportunities? Because you can maybe you can create different or another level for your professional services, because you can be international workers. Knowing English will make you a bilingual person, and it will be easier for you to be employed in any foreign country. I know that we are spending time in social media, maybe a couple of hours in a day. So if you are looking for different pages, always we receive some advertisements about study English, and now it's very common to receive advertising talking about explore another countries. You can follow some influencers and try to get more information about how you can prepare your CV or resume, or how you can get another study opportunities in a foreign country or job opportunities, and in Canada, for example. So it's important spend time in stuff like that. as a it's like invest in yourself, because English open a lot of opportunities. Now we have development. Why development? Because development is important to innovate and create economic development. You know, China and the United States are leading countries in economic development and technical innovation. So why I cannot? The limits are mental. If they can, we call also develop ourselves in the same way, but first it's important to develop individually. Imagine Amazon starts in a little place, and now Amazon is a big company. So imagine if you create entrepreneurship and you could give your service or your product in a foreign country. But if it's important to try to communicate with others, so it's very important try to be focused on the English, because it's maybe another interesting country or door to invest. Now we have enjoy. Why enjoy? Because we can enjoy vacation and now new cultures. And the other hand, we can spend time always learning English and practicing English. You know, English is the best skills to spend time in a great vacation. A language trip, for example, is the best way to learn English, to meet a new cultures and interesting people, to visit incredible places, and to enjoy an unforgettable vacation. In addition, knowing English will help us better understand our culture and our language. You know, why I say our culture and our language? Because if you are visiting United States, for example, there are some places with a lot of Latin person. So they create environment with different cultures, but the rest of maybe the kids that they are they were born there, they can speak Spanish. The parents try to transmit the language, but if they have a lot of time in another country, they forget the Spanish. They always are speaking in English because education in general and work and everything is in English. So it's important because we are always can learning something new, something different in another cultures. And you can learn English in different ways. I will mention some ways. The first one is study in a course like this. The other, looking for information on the internet by yourself, conversing or talking with others speakers. Maybe you can download some apps and try to spend time on it and listen to music, watching videos and others. Just find your way to learning. And age is not a excuse. That is, thank you for your attention.
Perfect. Thank you very much. It was very interesting. And guys, do you have any questions, any comments?
Totally agree with Roxana, because when you speak English, you have open opportunities for jobs. And when you travel, about traveling, she knows a lot about it. She travels a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that is true. I mean, that opens the world for you. So it's amazing, you know. That is so true. Any other questions or comment? Okay, very good, Roxanne. It was very interesting, and yeah, the presentation was very nice also. So very good.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna listen to Fernando and let's see how it goes. Fernando Gonzalez.
Okay, teacher. I will share my screen.
Of course.
Obviously, I talked to you about books. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah, good.
Okay. My top 5 my favorite books. Yeah, the topic is pretty right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. My favorite books, my top 5. So okay. Okay. First, I want to talk to you about me and reading. So since I learned to read, I have always liked to read everything I see. At school, for me, it was not a punishment that the teacher sent me to read Shakespeare classics or Greek tragedies. In fact, the number 3 of my top 5 I discovered because I had to do a homework about it in high school. I have read many books. To be honest, some I no longer remember that I read them. It is until I see a comment about them that I realize that I read it already. So I will show you the Facebook that for me are the best that exist. Okay, number 5, I have the Gospel of Evil, Street Graham, 2007. I'm not a big fan of the horror genre, but someone loaned me this book and it fascinated me. The Gospel of Evil is a horror and suspense novel about the battle of an FBI special agent and a Satanist organization that considers taking over control of the Vatican. If you like Da Vinci's Code or similar, you must read it. I recommend it. And number 4, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Oscar Wilde, 1890. If you want to read something refined with social satire, elegant, hilarious, a little scary, but definitely a masterpiece, Oscar Wilde's story of a fashionable young man who sells his soul for eternal youth and beauty is the aftermost popular work. And number 3, 100 Years of Solitude, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 1967, right? 1967. When I first read the following book, I found it wonderful, charming, mind-blowing, incredible. To be honest, I couldn't believe how the story I had just finished reading took 100 years and everything was incredible. It's a landmark novel that tells the multi-generational story of the Buendia family, whose patriarch, Jose Arcadio Buendia, founded the fictitious town of Macondo. The novel is often cited as one of the supreme achievements in literature. And number 2, A Son of Ice and Fire, is a saga of George Martin. Many people know about this story because they saw the very successful television series Game of Thrones, which is very good. It is a shame the end it has, but the books are something else. The story has not ended and continues to maintain its quality. I belong to that group of people who wait impatiently for the next book. It is already 10 years of waiting, 10 or 11, something like this. A Song of Ice and Fire is a series of epic fantasy novels. He began the first volume of the series, A Game of Thrones, in 1991, and it was published in 1996. Martin, who initially said the series has a trilogy, has published 5 of the Planet 7 volumes. The 5th and most recent volume of the series, A Dance with Dragons, was published in 2011 and took Martin 6 years to write. He's currently writing the 6th novel, and I really hope he ends soon. And number 1, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams, 1979. The Hitchhiker Guide followed the story of a hapless human called Arthur Dent, who is saved from Earth's destruction by aliens with just seconds to spare by his good friend for Prefect. Prefect, who then at first believed to be human, actually turned out to be an alien working for something called the Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy, sort of a combination travel guide / Wikipedia for intergalactic travelers roaming about the universe. It is a series of 5 books. I have read all 5, but the best of all is the first for me, right? It is science fiction with humor and social criticism, a dry but hilarious humor, a funny story through the universe and time, charming characters. It has everything I like. And to finish, I just want to make a special mention of my favorite book by a national writer, Jaraguá, by Jose Napoleon Ruiz, published in 1950, and it is also a masterpiece. And for the last, I had to mention that I read the entire series of Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy, but in Spanish, obviously. But I get a copy in English because I really like to read in its original language, and I hope that it's helped me to improve my read. So that's all. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. It's very interesting. Any comments or questions?
Yes, I had to question at what time you read, because I know you're commuting, right?
Yeah.
Working. And the other, do you read digital books or the physical one?
To be honest, I have physical book.
Mm.
Sometimes, and I finished reading in digital because
Okay.
it's complicated. Yeah, I always had a book in my backpack, and sometimes I read in the book, but you know, it's night, it's dark, so
Yeah,
I had
it's so
I had to
difficult.
change. I had to change to my cell phone and continue in digital.
So you read when you are commuting?
Yes, I have a lot of time.
Yeah, even though I'm asking because even though when I was commuting, I had the time, my eyes were like, I don't know, like stitched. I don't know how to say this. No,
Yeah,
I cannot.
I had a lot of time to read, so I sleep a while and then I read and then I sleep again. So I have time to do it. So it's a shame that the books are uncomfortable because I have time to do other activities. But sometimes I have to I read, and I want to show you my copy.
Interesting.
This is my copy of my favorite book. I don't know you.
Yeah, we barely see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. There's like a filter that is, it's not, yeah, but we can see it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to read it in English. So I hope that ends someday.
That is my challenging. I haven't read a book yet in English, just the text one. Interesting.
You see?
Very good. Perfect. Any other question? Or comment?
Just a comment.
Okay.
For me, it's nice here to a young man read books. It's interesting.
Oh, books are amazing. Actually, I want to read the first one that you showed, that is The Gospel of Evil. I haven't read that one, and that is on my
Yeah,
list,
that sound interesting.
Yeah, I really like that kind of books.
It's very interesting. And I have the second volume, the daughter, I don't know, La hija del Apocalipsis. In English, I don't know, the daughter.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah,
It's
those
the,
books are interesting.
it's the
You know,
sequel.
when I go to the library, I mean, sometimes there are too many and I just can't choose. Sometimes I buy 2 or 3, and then whenever I go back, I want to buy many more, but sometimes it's kind of difficult,
I
right?
fight with to find the time because I'm classical. I love to read in paper and I'm
Me
switching
too.
to, oh my God, it's hard for me to read in the cell phone. At least sometimes I try to read like in a Swindle or that, but it's not the same. I need to
Yeah,
draw, I need to make the line. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It's
But
totally
the
different.
digital book will not replace the physical books.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
No,
That is
it's the
just
best.
because I believe that is exactly the reason why you're reading that one, because you need. I mean, sometimes
Mhm.
it's easier, more convenient, but definitely it's much better for
Mhm.
anybody to read in paper, right?
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
But I think that we had a problem in this country, or all the countries. The books are expensive.
Yeah,
People
Mhm.
doesn't like read and the price of the books.
yeah, that's true. Sometimes for me to buy many books, what I do is I buy the ones that are for students, the ones that come with a little guide at the end. But that way I can buy many books. So sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes you need to buy the ones that are expensive, but it's very nice to read.
Mhm.
I have a little library in the other room.
Okay.
Your
Yeah,
whole
that's what
room
I'm
is a
building.
library. I just can imagine your whole room is a library.
No, no, I don't have.
No,
I
but
don't
that's
have.
good.
I need a
Congratulations.
lot of money for that, but
Yeah,
I would like
little by little.
little bit here. Yeah.
Good, perfect. Any other questions or comment for Fernando? Okay, so sadly we don't have more time. Of course, we still want to listen to Heidi and Juan Miguel and Jose Rivas. I guess half of the class is still waiting. So don't worry, tomorrow we're gonna make it. So please get ready your presentations for tomorrow, because we're going to continue tomorrow. And of course, we're gonna check the topic for tomorrow. That is not going to be that difficult. So please keep your presentations ready for tomorrow. You have one more day to check into that one. Also, please remember to finish the platform. I mean, section 1, section 2, and the midterm test. That is very, very important. And we're going to check the attendance of tonight, of course. So let me just check here. Okay, Ana Claudia González Velázquez.
Present, teacher.
Good. Andrés Giovanni Valdivieso Portillo. David Samuel Galdames Monterrosa.
Present, teacher.
Good. Dora Elizabeth Flores Mendez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Ernesto Cosme Morales.
Present.
Good. Fernando Marvin González Martínez.
Present.
Good. Francisco Eduardo Figueroa Mejía. Heidi Eugenia Salguero de Rivas. Good. Ileana Giselle Cañas Escobar.
Present, teacher.
Good. Jarvin Isaac Guevara Miranda. José Marcos Rodríguez Ayala.
Present.
Good. José Osmin Rivas Navas.
Present.
Good. José Wilfredo Ayala Sorto.
Present.
Good. Juan Miguel Bran Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Good. Ramón Enrique Mata Escobar. Roberto Luis Umaña Orellana. Roxana Yvette Asensio de Mejía.
Present.
Good. William Alexander Ramírez Flores.
Present.
Good. Jessica Yanari Cortés Díaz.
I'm here.
Good. Zulema Ivonne Moreno de Hernández.
Present.
Good. Erwin Lagos Andrade.
Present, teacher.
Perfect. Okay, my friends, so it was a pleasure to listen to your presentations. Tomorrow we have the second season on this one. It's going to be very interesting. So there are many people that are still waiting for the presentation. Of course, we're going to give the time. And well, I hope you have a very good night. Rest very well. See you tomorrow and dream in English.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher. Good night, everybody.
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 Have a good night.
Good night.
Everybody.